uh, dedication of oneself unto Lord, totally. So this is the end result of our spiritual practice, as it were. You can start. What are these stages of bhakti? We have already forgotten, maybe. What are the stages of bhakti? It is called ninefold devotion. That is the book started with that. What are the ninefold devotion? Sravanam, listening to the holy message of God. Kirtanam, out loud, you are singing the glories in a, so like Hare Krishna people sing together. We sing in our chorus singing. We do the same thing. So that was on page 44. If you go to page 144, we have read that, but for your reference, if you go to that page, you find that the beginning is saying that practice of devotion takes the following 9 forms. Our practice will be, we should follow these steps. So first of all, if you are a devotee, you will be feeling interest in listening about the glories of Lord. No. It's a normal human relationship also. Whom you love, you want to hear his glory. No? And where people talks about highly about that, you find more joy. So God, if you are a lover of God, then you will be, your natural tendency will be, let me go. Where there is some Harikatha, that means something going on about the Lord, and His glories are being talked about, so that I grow in devotion. First step. And then Kirtanam. Then you sing, you yourself sing His glories. Sing some songs, listen to that, and you also join in the congregational music. Vishnu Smaranam. Third one. Smarana means remembering. Remembrance of the Vishnu. Vishnu means the Lord. Vishnu means who? Someone will say it is Krishna. If I had Vedanta, we will say it is all pervading principle. Vishnu means Vyapnoti iti Vishnu, he who pervades everywhere. So you remember that he is here, he is there, he is there. The devotees, bhaktas, they also see God everywhere, no? Krishna here, Krishna there. In Vedantic terminology, seeing Brahman everywhere, seeing the divine everywhere. So that is the remembrance, smaranam. Then service, pada sevanam, the service to God, through the consecration of the images, the holy men and all living beings. You worship in the temple. Why? That image which is consecrated. That's why we do our puja every day in the temple. It is consecrated image, Ma Kali, in your home, the temple. It is consecrated. So, worshipping and serving, you serve. How do you serve? Morning, we wake up the Lord. Vaishnavas do much more, but we make a balance. Their whole day's work is only service. Service to the deity. No? You wake up the deity. No? Then you give some as much details you can do, so everything. You can give some rinsing water. You can give some washing his hand and feet. Then you can mentally think that you are offering towel to clean, wash them. And then in every Hindu temple, you will find they give something to eat in the morning. Very wake up call. They give some, what you call, bed tea. Nowadays we call bed tea. In the early days they give some rock candy and butter. For Krishna we give butter and rock candy. So our Ramakrishna don't get anything in the morning. We only wake him up and say, oh Lord, get up and sit. But you can do much better. If you like, you have this. Yes.
What do you do with food after it's offered? How do you dispose of the food after it's offered to whomever?
If you offer thing that God is taking, you invoke the presence of the divine, that he is here. It is not the statue, it is not the photograph. But it is a Lord, now I am invoking, oh Lord, please come. And you appear here and accept my offering.
Oh, you have to Lord ate it. Yeah,
Yeah.
the Lord
That's
ate it. What do you
mix
do
it-
with your food
You,
after the
you
Lord ate
mix
it?
it in the big pot.
Oh,
put it back
with
in-
everything else.
And you
Oh,
bless
how
yourself.
did you give?
Yeah.
Oh, you see
What do
that
you do afterwards?
after we had the prasad,
You put it in,
Prasadam.
we eat.
you put it in the big pot.
The Lord takes the love and devotion which you give,
Yeah.
the subtle part, and then because he has glanced or took the essential part, and it has been holy then. And then we take that holy food, and that makes our body pure. Ordinary food is ordinary food, but when you eat with that consecrational food, then it makes your body pure. That's why we call prasad.
It's not all ostentatious. It's actually quite a
It means body pure or buddhi pure.
Huh?
Buddhi, your understanding. Shuddha means a buddhi.
Right. That's why our Upanishad even says that when you take that consecrational food, that buddhi shuddhi, your buddhi becomes pure. Buddhi means intelligence. Your understanding becomes clear. And sattva shuddho dhruva smriti, then your memory will be sharp. You will think of God. Smriti labdhe, when you attain that memory that God is everywhere because of taking that holy food. That's why we always use the Hindu temples word prasad, prasad. We are going for prasad. They don't say we are going to eat food. Though it is literally sense, but in spiritual sense, we are eating the consecrated food, which is pure. Huh?
We take prasad.
We take prasad.
Does this assist those who don't know prasad?
They should know. That's why that will help them.
What if they don't care?
Don't care. You care for poison or not. If you drink poison, poison will have its effect. But if you know, then you will quick. You will understand because of this, because it's happening. You don't know, but you took something and it is reaction will happen. As poison is the negative side, positive side is the purity. Pure food. It becomes pure, not lustful. People prepare the food and I eat fast. No, it is go to the Lord first. I can't eat it. Even I don't smell. Some Orthodox people will put a mask with the nose so that you don't smell, because that should go to God. So these are all spiritual moods. Spirituality is the mental level. So anyhow, so pada sevanam here means serving him. Serving him, that is called whole day service. Hare Krishna temple, you go morning, 8 o'clock something will be there. Again, noon times there will be something. Then the Lord should go to bed as we have nap time. And then nap time, after he wakes up, you again do some service. And after that service, then again give in the evening time something to eat. And then fan and this and that. Why we do? What we do? All Pada Sevanam. Morning, our nuns come, they wake up the Lord, put in there with incense and light, waving around them, and as if he's gracing us, and he's sitting there to look at us and give our blessings. You feel that way. Otherwise, it is no use in going to a temple. So temple is temple because you feel the presence of God, and you serve, and your service makes your connection. You and God connected. And then Padasamanam, Archanam. Archanam means worshipping the holy image. We do worship. Special day, you see how we take 4 hours to do the worship. How many rituals, how many mudras, how many mantras are in holy images. Then Bandhanam. Bandhanam means praising the glory of the Lord, paying obeisance. Then Bandhan Dasyam. thinking, I am your servant, O Lord, you are the Lord of the universe. So please accept my service. I am your servant. And take my this attitude. When we are servant of the world, but the devotee will be servant of God. And God is somewhere in the heaven? No. God has come here in this temple, in this shrine, in this photo. He is living. Sometimes you will see, if your mood is good, you will feel the same photograph, smiling little more someday. Someday it is grey, as it were. That means
some scenes Vijayadashami day mother is crying.
sometimes you feel that it is a little sad. It's your high emotions in your mind that reflects in the images. And then Dasyam, Shakyam, this cultivating the relationship with God in the like a loving, intimate friend. Friend loves the friend. You use that bag. I also use the bag even now.
Yes, Maharaj.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It gives a good service to me. So cultivating a loving intimacy with Him. And lastly, surrendering one's body, mind and soul to Him. Atma Nivedanam. You offer everything to God. Think that you have nothing of your own. The body was given by God, you offer it at His feet. Your mind is also God gift. God has given. I didn't create my mind. First, in the first position. Mano deho, mano dehi, deho, de, ki bole? Deho samarapinu. What is the Vaishnava chant? Dehi tulasi tilo. Deho samarapinu. Daya jane. It is your grace. Now I have, O Lord, with the tulasi is auspicious. Hindus, to the Hindus, particularly Vaishnavas, tulasi. We also offer, our Ramakrishna is Narayana. So you offer tulasi. Every day, some tulasi leaf at the feet of the Lord. So tulasi is the expression of extreme devotion to Krishna, to the Lord. So it is called Krishna, we call Ramakrishna. So offering deha means body. I surrender my body. Deha deho samarapin. I surrender my body at your feet with mind, emotion, and everything, with tulasi leaf. You see that when you offer fruits, food quantity, sometimes you offer tulasi, because tulasi is purifying. Tulasi itself is most pure. That's why it is said, if you plant tulasi leaves and tulasi grove, some people cannot grow tulasi. If they are not devotional, tulasi does not grow there. But only it grows in devotional people's home.
It's a type of basil.
Basil. The basil leaf. So last part is that it is Shakyam and Atma Nivedanam. Shakyam is the friendship. God is no more farther away, as if He's my friend. Very closeness comes. No formalities. Friend does not have much formalities with a friend. So that is the relationship is coming closer and closer and closer. Thus, you are the boss, I am your servant. Servant cannot go and sit with the boss, is it not? That means the relationship is said, but I am your servant. And then deeper relationship, I am your servant, but you are my friend also. In all my journey, in happiness, in misery, in pleasure and pain, you are like a friend of mine. You hold me, you protect me, you guide me. I also am always with you. Unconditional love is closer. The relationship is more. And Atma Nivedanam, last. I have nothing, O Lord, but you. So when you surrender, then you are totally lost into God. That is the last 9th stage. So we have read that 9th-stage talk on the last time, and probably have finished it, that in this condition, the devotee seeks nothing from God. It is on 247. Now, and that it is said that Bhagavat continues to say, devotion to me, in the Bhagavat on page 248, after third line, fourth line. Devotion to me is the only means for attaining to bliss, undecaying. Only 248, fourth line. Devotion to me means capital me, God. That is the only means for attaining the bliss. You want to have bliss or peace, uninterrupted and undying, then the love is the only, devotion to God is the only source. It is fortunate that you have developed attachment to me, which is the means of attaining me, just as all objects of the world have their beginning and their end in the 5 elements, and are also covered and infilled by the elements. Say, whole universe is made of 5 elements, no? Air, water, fire, etc. The combination. So anything, my body is made of 5 elements. This chair is made of 5 elements. No? Air element, water, it is containing space element, material, car, wood has come from the earth element. Space is occupying some space. Here is a fire element. In the wood there is a fire element. So anywhere you consider, it is we are made of 5 elements. Panchbhuta. And are also covered and infilled by these elements. It is made up that there is nothing but 5 elements which constitute. In the same way, understand me to be the basis and substance pervading all the world. You are a devotee, try to understand I am the basis of this whole universe, and I pervade everywhere. Here, which Krishna they are talking about? That cosmic consciousness. I pervade everywhere. That's the meaning of the Vishnu word. So, me to be the basis and substance, pervading all the, not this earth. Oh, stars, galaxies, millions, billions of stars, galaxies, go to heaven or wherever you go. I pervaded everywhere. That is the devotion to that. That means you surrender yourself into that reality. That your joy is infinite. If we surrender to a limited thing, then our joy will be that much limited. Maybe you surrender I can give the example. Suppose we surrender all the energy to a job. I go to a job and they give me some money. So I surrender my all energy. Giving all. Surrender means I give away all my energy. So you give your energy into a job of 100,000, you get the benefit or joy, outcome is 100,000. But if you surrender to this God, who is the substratum of everything, and who pervades all these stars, galaxies, and whatnot, heaven and hell and everywhere, then it is infinite. So your joy is also infinite. Outcome is also same. So that's why it is said, love God only. Whatever you love, try to love God in that object. If you only focus on the object, then your joy will be limited. Because that body, that mind, that money, that food, which is limited, it can give that limited joy. But if you can plunge into the thought that you are loving God, the all-pervaded consciousness, then your joy will be all-pervaded. Your joy will be infinite. So that is the glory of that. And living and non-living being, he pervades everywhere. So if you can see God in everywhere, in every living being or non-living being, and you surrender there, not in a limited object. Limited object is nothing wrong, but you give it, output will be limited. So give When you love God in something. Then your love is going to God. Not the object is finished with the limited object. That's why Rabindranath Tagore has Bhai jeno mor সকল ভালো বাসা প্রভু তোমার পানে O Lord, let my love flow only towards you and you alone. Wherever I roam around in the world, I can understand that you are calling. It's a beautiful, I said, now you drive, you see, wildflowers, beautiful color. He's calling you, Lord is calling you. Look, here I am. No? You look at the full moon night, the moon is calling, come, see, I am here. So let me train myself that I can respond to your call, that you are calling me. You are everywhere. That is devotion. See, devotion is not ordinary. See, the devotion is not, if real devotion generates in one, this eye will open. And he'll be able to respond to every call, anywhere, any beauty, any joy, any peace, any happiness. He will resonate in that joy and peace. So, yeah.
How do we stop from when thinking of God, trying to create him into an object, similarly to most Western tradition, like God in Christianity and Judaism is not anywhere close to Brahman. He's the man in the sky. How do we?
That is one concept. Some people can hold on to that concept, but you can also hold on to this concept. Change your thought, which resonates more scientifically. This whole world exists because there is some coherent force. Some is holding on. Why gravitational pull is pulling everything and we are all standing on the earth? I will have been shattered to anywhere. Because pulling, as gravitational pulling, God is pulling. You can see, it's your attitude of thinking. Those type of argument, if it appeals, let them be happy with that. But this resonates to our rational mind more, that it is everywhere is there and he is calling you through all the beauty. All the little tiny wildflower can give you tremendous joy if you can see who is calling you there. A baby smile can give you tremendous joy. Innocent smile of a baby, the mother kissing the child. Swami Vivekananda said, you can see God everywhere. A friend, a loving friend, shaking hand with a friend, you can see the presence of God. Can your heart resonate in that line? So that is the result of this practice. That's why spiritual practice is most important. It's not intellectualizing. And that practice should be presented be alert. We should be alert that we can respond to the call of God. The Rabindranath song is beautiful. Dhai jano mor shakol asha তোমার পানে চিত্ত আমার
Asha should go to your ear.
কানে আছে কানে so চিত্ত আমার যখন যেথায় রবে my চিত্ত my mind will stay whatever time at what point of time ধরা যেন দেয় সে তোমার ডাকে as he can catch or you can catch. You are calling and I am not responding. Let it not happen like that. You call and I respond. And I can hold. And all the obstacles and everything go away between you and me. So this is the Vedantic experience coming through devotion even. Language is different, no? If we understand, that's why by the grace of Ramakrishna, we are fortunate that we have come to Ramakrishna, where this type of foolish distinction and fight does not make any sense to us anymore. They're all talking of the same thing. Only understand what they are talking. He's not saying that God is only in the temple. Yes, God is in the temple. But if he ends there, then I don't want that God. If he's so limited in the temple only, and no, outside, that's what Bhagavat says. Those who worship me only in the image, their worship is petty, small. When that worship extends to the humanity, what is the verse? Kurute archa virammanam. These people do worship. It is only a virammana. Virammana means just a fake, just a show of love. But I reside everywhere. We are talking about you, and you are preparing our food.
Oh yes, it's gonna be good. I've been cooking away.
Jai Ma, Jai Ma.
Welcome back.
So, with this enlightenment given by the blessings of Krishna, the Gopikas found themselves to be ever in his blessed presence, irrespective of the proximity in a physical sense. Very important. Amra bhavi, we think that we can have connection when we are in proximity, close. I see you, you see me. Here is our love. No. Here, this will give you the presence irrespective of proximity in a physical sense. Whether you are physically present or not, you will not feel any separation. Gopis first got this type of pain. They had a vision and they got the beautiful interaction and joy, and Krishna disappeared. And then, why disappearing? Two reasons. One, all the gopis thought we are very special. We are so fortunate. See, Krishna is playing with us and Krishna is with us only, the Lord of the world. Right? And when little ego came, they got disappeared. Not yours, it's my grace. So, yeah, and now these gopis then started searching for Krishna. Oh, Krishna, probably he went this way. Oh, Krishna, probably this tree has seen Krishna. Oh, the deer, his hairs are like this. See, he has seen his eyes that tell that Krishna. So they have started seeing Krishna in all the created beings. That is the call of Krishna. So whether physical presence or not, they are feeling the presence in every particle of object. So that it comes from vision, start there, extends that. That's how our spirituality should extend. Only in the presence, that is good. That's the starting point. It will extend everywhere. That everywhere you are, you can just feel the presence. So that's why this last line is very, with this enlightenment given by the blessing of Krishna, the Gopikas found themselves to be ever in his blessed presence. Though physically they are not there, but they feel that he is with me and me alone. And irrespective of proximity of or in a physical sense. Thus, Atma Nivedanam, or self-dedication as an expression of personal love and intimacy with the divine, brought also enlightenment to the Gopikas. That is the personal relationship when gopis become united with Krishna individually. But they felt that this self-dedication, they surrendered everything to Krishna. As a result, what has happened? The expression of the personal love, that love which is expressed in their union, that intimacy with the divine, as a result, brought this enlightenment that everywhere is Krishna. Krishna from personal level, expanding into the cosmic level. And then the gopis could see Krishna everywhere. This is the highest Vedanta, Shivaras. See what they are talking about. Is it Vedanta?
It is. Vedanta has various pathways, but all the paths lead to the ultimate realization.
Hey, that's the point. And it's grand. It's sweet. The Thakur said that Vedanta, oh mother, don't make me dry sannyasi, dry monk. Dry monk? This is not, this is not, this is not. Rather, make me see you everywhere. You can feel the connection everywhere, as if you are touching. Our Shraddhananda Swami used to say, touch God. He used to give one talk he gave. Touch God. With your eyes, touch God. With your ear, touch God. And everywhere you go, you can just expand your identity in touching God. So, come, sit here, you can sit here. So, we have read that when, first verse, when a man has abandoned all self-centered efforts and has dedicated himself entirely to me, self-centered effort should be there to see God. But self-centered means when you are limiting your identity with this little body mind, you are keeping yourself little separate. I. When you give up that I, then you become you. I become you. No more I. I dies. So that is the dedication, and that is the Atmanivedanam. I give away everything of mine. So then he becomes the special object of my grace. So when that blessed moment comes in one's life, and the devotee can abandon all their self-centered efforts to have joy, to meet, to get, forget, give everything to him, to God. Then God takes possession of everything of you. In every pore of the body, it will be charged with the joy of bliss. That's why you find in Ramakrishna, there's all goosebump all over the body, all over thrill of joy all over the body. So that experience, and when total surrender comes. So it is giving away yourself, you get everything. And then becomes the special object, and then God becomes gracious, means God enters into him, our heart. There is no two separate entity then. This physical body then becomes the abode of the Lord. It becomes the practical, physical presence can be felt to those personalities in their bodies. Freed from the round of births and deaths, that person becomes one with my being. If that type of surrender comes, then what happens? Last ego, the self, is dissolved there. Then what will remain? You become Krishna. Krishna does not remain separate from you because you have no entity. Your entity is only in that love, that consciousness. And the second verse is also from Prahlada. What it says, the Vedas do indeed deal with the three worldly values of morality, wealth, and pleasure. That means dharma, artha, kama. The Vedas do indeed deal with the three worldly values of morality in their life. In Hindu say dharma, artha, kama, and moksha is the last one. But these three are the fundamental for the all. With philosophy and ethics, with sacrificial rites, with statecraft, and with various accomplishments useful to man. These are all for the general people. But Prahlada, the great devotee, he says, I regard that dedication of oneself to the Supreme Being, the friend and the well-wisher of all, is their real teaching. So I think that if one can dedicate oneself totally to that Supreme Being, who is the friend and well-wisher of all, then that is the highest thing they achieve. Atma Nivedana, self-surrender, is the last word in spiritual life. So, now it is a, oh, we didn't go to it. Acha. Now, we are in the last strand, taking refuge in the Lord, Saranagati. What you have said, Atma Nivedana means you surrender yourself. But the next stage is coming, taking refuge. The language is very vague to understand the distinction between you surrendering and in you taking refuge as Saranagati Sanskrit word.
Swami, what occurs to me is that people will take refuge in the Lord when they're having serious problems and they feel emotionally desperate. They go to the Lord for refuge and succor.
Yeah. But yes, that is true. But those who don't go for any material need, they are also devotees. They are the highest grade. I don't need anything, but I love you.
And in Buddhism, they use that term, taking refuge in the Buddha,
Buddha.
when you get
But
initiated.
But
You're kind of
they call
initiated.
Buddhang Sharanang Gacchami. Sharanang means refuge.
Yeah.
I take refuge in the Buddha. So that is in every religion there is this Sharanagati. You have to don't keep your angularities, your own crankiness. But you just give it everything that you get polished in the shape of what the ideal you are casting yourself. Like cast your life in the mold, we call in our tradition. Cast your life in the mold of Ramakrishna. You are to, with my angularities, if I try to get in this tradition, well, no, you melt your ego, you melt your all angularities into something molten, and then cast, there is a mold, the mold of Ramakrishna, then you will look like Ramakrishna. Your whole personality will be like Ramakrishna. What is talking about Krishna here? The same thing. The 9 disciplines of bhakti have been treated in these previous chapters. So we have talked about that today. In this section, the Saranagati, or the taking refuge in the Lord, is explained. What is this? It is difficult to distinguish it in effect from self-dedication, the other chapter what we talked about, that you dedicate yourself, and treated in the previous section with this idea, taking refuge in the Lord. Probably the following distinction may be made. What is the distinction? In a very subtle distinction. Self-dedication may be described as the effect that gradually comes on a soul that has practiced for long the devotional disciplines mentioned earlier. The last chapter, what we read now, that Atma Nivedanam, you nivedan, you offer. Your offering of everything of yours. That is coming as a result of the practice of all the 9 steps. Shravanam, listening, Kirtanam, singing the glories, Kirtanam, Pada Sevanam, service of the consecrated deity. Like that with the 9 steps we just read now. So as a result of following those steps, you attain to that point. But what is described here, this take refuge in the Lord, this word, is also involved in it. But taking refuge may also be the result of a sudden conversion due to an oppressive sense of the wretchedness of the worldly life, of a sense of sin, or of imminent danger or disease of death. People, that's what Shivadas was telling. No. This may happen not as a practice so long you have done. You have suddenly fallen into such difficulty. And you find no other person, no one can help you. Then you say, just jump and take refuge. Oh Lord, I have none to help. Please do something. So this first part, the Swami is making the distinction. The first part, Atma Nivedanam, what we read the other chapter, you offer everything to God. That is the result of all the other practices that Bhakta is doing, chanting the name, serving the God, Lord in the temple, and I am your singing glory, reading books, going to listen to the holy text, All this effort is gradually bringing this idea that you surrendered everything, offer everything to him. But this may not be. The Gita says 4 types of bhakta. Artha, Jiggasu, Artharthi. Artha means falling in great difficulty, great disease. Somebody died. Something has happened which is so pathetic that there is nobody to console. No? So in that time when one takes, this is called the sarana. It comes spontaneously and all on a sudden. Under such circumstances, even an unprepared soul may throw himself helplessly at the feet of God and seek refuge in him. Yeah? You see someone lost his son or daughter, no? When that someone of the relative, any relative, that moment they become mad. They do not know where to go. And if they have some devotional element, they will go to the temple, cry and weep and suffer there and offer their all prayers. No? Say, I have nobody, please help me. No? So that type of surrender, refuge comes. The devotional doctrine has a place for such devotees also, no? Because they are not devotees practicing all the time, but under circumstances, need of the situation, sometimes this is a bhakti. There is a definite place of that type of surrender. You may say, Vedanta will say, you have to practice this, then you can achieve this. Yes, bhakti also will say, this, last will be, you surrender yourself. No? But in bhakti school, this is also given there, that you need not be a bhakta from the beginning. You may be very otherwise. And many people's life has transformed that way. When sudden death, sudden loss, incurable disease, and that has transformed. Many people say, I have a transformational experience. Many people say, I was atheist. I didn't believe in this thing. But suddenly that changed me. So that is the sudden change can happen and you take surrender. That is also great means.
Is it like something like that? Atmanivedana is something that when we are doing puja, at the end of puja, then we do Shashtanga Pranam,
Right.
saying like that.
Right.
That is that after all the ritual, at the end of the ritual. But Sharanagati is not a ritual, it's a characteristic, like that total transformation.
That is an expression. When you prostrate lay in the temple, Hare Krishna temple, particularly we are little more sophisticated, so we don't lie down flat. We do like that. Huh? But Hare Krishna law, boom, lay flat like that. Huh? That means sense is that I am all surrendering with my 8 limbs. Nose, head, chest, feet, this and hand. That means I am nothing of my own. So I give everything. So that is the practice to indicate that you feel like that. So that will be the expression of that.
But Swamiji, also taking refuge, it could transform your life, but many times it happens that when that circumstance is there, you take refuge, but when that passes and again you are, then you go back to your same,
but you get a taste of that.
Yeah.
Again, life brings another havoc. Life means always one goes, another comes. Maybe in between some days, good days, apparently no problem days. And that time we forgot. But again another some blow comes, then what you do? Then you are reminded of your last experience. And I took refuge and then God actually saved me. I was so much consoled and I felt like this. No? That helps. That way you are practicing. Then you will be more into it to remember that type of surrender is the best. Why do I take responsibility of my all troubles? Why not I give it to God who can take it? That's why that's the common example I give. That why are you carrying the heavy load on your head and when the train is running? You need not have to carry the load on your head Because train is carrying you, train will carry you and your load. So unload the thing on the train and you stand there, refuse. Then you will also go, everything will go.
That's a good metaphor for giving your problems and your burdens over to God.
Oh, to God. We keep for our solution. I think this way. I give and don't give again. That is because we are not so much advanced in our spiritual practice. But if we go on doing, one day will come, it will happen. Mirabai and others are examples how they have nothing for their own, all dedicated. Prahlada dedicated everything for Krishna. But to prepare a Prahlada, to prepare a Mirabai, they have previous life's practice. Mirabai does not come out of nothing. So he had to go through all these other practices long time. So the Gita says, even if a man is a confirmed sinner, he must consider a good man, provided he resigns himself to me as his sole refuge, for he has taken right resolve. Soon will he become righteous and attain peace. Gita says that even he is not righteous person, he very ordinary person, but under circumstances, take a refuge in me. Then he has actually, he has taken a right resolution. To take refuge in anything else is a foolishness. That may give you temporary support, may not give you. Suppose you go to fight your case and take a lawyer, and you find the lawyer is consulting with the other lawyer, how they can continue the case and continue to extract your money for long. Then what will you say? Where did I want to get the support? I trust my lawyer, and lawyer is going and saying against me. So these are not trustworthy. But when we get a taste of trust in God, then that will continue. Let mother do everything. My richa. So that is the self-surrender. And that is to be day and night. If one thinks, then mother will take care. I will take care. Soon will he be righteous and attain to peace. No devotees of mine is ever lost. If someone takes refuge in me, there is no loss for that person. In the Bhagavata, it is itself, there is the account of Ajamila. You know the story of the Ajamila, who took the name of Narayana in a dreadful fear when face to face with death. When he was in the last point of his life, the death, God's messengers came, no? What do you call? God's emissaries came. And seeing the God's emissaries, he got frightened. And he was thinking, who will help me now? He has a son whose name was Narayana. He gave in India, they give all names of gods and goddesses. So that last time they may remember God. That is the idea. And it happened for him. He called his son, "Oh Narayana, please come." And the Lord Narayana came. The Lord thought, oh, he is calling me. So, dreadful fear when face to face with death, and he was saved. In verse number 19 to 34, reference will be found that the Ajamila episode with detailed explanation how a sinner becomes a devotee. Narayana Bhattatari, the author of the Narayaniam, is a famous example of one who took shelter with the Lord, owing to the torments of an incurable ailment, and became a great devotee in his later life. That's why Christ used to cure the disease and other things. No, they create love for God. Then you have confidence in God. God can help this. God can cure this. So God can cure my worldly problems also, and ultimate problem also. Girish Chandra Ghosh, a talented artist, disciple of Sri Ramakrishna, though without any spiritual discipline. We don't find Girish Ghosh doing any meditation and prayer. Ramakrishna told him, do meditate in the morning and evening. He said, I do not know, I cannot give you word. Where is my morning? Where is my evening? I am a drunk person. When I drink, I don't know what time. It is daytime, it is night time. You say morning and evening. I have no sense of morning. Okay. Then he tried out, I said, at least in this time, at least that time, no, nothing. Then he said, give your bakalma, the power of attorney. You give your power of this. That means you take refuge in me. I will do everything for you. But it is not easy. And when his son died, naturally, he wanted to cry. But he has given not like us. He gave, really he gave. He said, can I cry? Because I have given everything to him. So how can I cry? He could not even cry. Such is the surrender. God will take care. So I am nothing. Took absolute shelter and became a transformed man. There are several such examples of men who, under physical or mental suffering of an irremediable nature, lose hope in life and resign themselves completely to the Lord, though they are without any practice of devotional disciplines in the life. They didn't do prayer, meditation, japa. They didn't do. But in utter distress, they called upon God. And that time total surrender came. And then they were rescued. If the resignation is complete and irrevocably wholehearted, this is very important. We surrender at one point, and next point take back. I give away, then again we come back to call it back. I take the responsibility again. That is the Thakur's story. He said that old lady could not carry so much load as a poor widow. To chop the woods from the firewood and sell it and exchange it to survive. But the full weight of the load to carry all through the life is a painful life. So he was calling, oh Lord, you take away everybody, but still you have kept me and I am suffering like that. So one day she complains every day. So one day the Lord actually felt compassionate. Aha, she is calling me. So she appeared, the Lord appeared before him. So, okay, come with me now. You are suffering here, you need not have to suffer. They said, no, oh Lord, I didn't ask you to take me there. But I am asking you to please put this weight on my head. So we give, but we don't give. That's our failure. That's why this is also a practice. I forget. Again I give. Again I give. Real giving is irrevocable gift. Everything we give mentally, we think that I have given. So I remains there. So it is not full giving. The person becomes a great devotee in spite of his past background. Such devotees are Saranagatas, refugees par excellence. The doctrine of Prapatti in the Ramanuja system of Vaishnava philosophy comes under this teaching. They don't practice anything, but under certain circumstances, they suddenly take refuge in God and their whole life's problem is solved. So refuge to take if we can consciously do that, then it is much easier. So how surrender frees one from all debts is stated in this Karabhaja. What is that? It says a person who has unreservedly taken refuge in the Lord, giving up all ideas of agency. Agency means I am doing, I am serving, I am this. I is gone. Is no longer a servant of the devas, rishis, bhutas, living beings or pitris, and for this reason is no longer a debtor to them. That means nobody can control them. If one takes refuge to God, he is no more a servant of under the rule of the gods and goddesses, no? Under the rules of the bhutas, 5 elements. They cannot control life. That means they become, according to Hindu scripture, man is by nature 5 types of debts they carry. No, 5. What are these? These are, you are indebted to the gods. God's blessings are there, that's why we are here. Debts to the devas or celestial beings. Debt to the rishis. We are here because we are in Hindus believe that we are the what do you call? Descendant. We are the descendant of the rishis. That's why all the Hindus, if you ask, what is your origin? Who is your original rishi? You say Vishwamitra. You say Bharadwaja, Gotra. Bharadwaj, Gotra. This Gotra, that Gotra. That means they remind that you are in the line of the rishis. So rishis are your past. Because of the rishi, you are here now. All the sages. So you have debt for them. So all the 5 types. So rishis are the founding fathers of the culture. Debt to our pitris means our forefathers. Because our forefathers were there, we are the descendant of them. Debt to the fellow human being. You are here, you are indebted to your fellow being. All the support from the community. Our education is, that money came from public donation, no? Or the what do you call, the taxes of the given by the people. So you are sustaining yourself by the help of others. So you also give back. And debt to the bhutas or the subhuman beings. These debts are repaid by what are called Pancha Maha Jagnas, 5-fold sacrifice. What are these? So to repay the debts of the gods, you worship gods. That's why we worship Ganesha, Shiva, Kali, Durga. Because of their grace we are here. So we offer our prayers and offering. So you repay your debt for the rishis. That is one. By studying scriptures. To the pitris, your forefathers, by performing obsequies like tarpana, shraddha, and leaving a son to continue these performances. That means you do these rituals, and if when you are not there, your children, they will continue. So that they, to fellow men by hospitality and charity, you are supported by them, you return to feed somebody, some poor people, that's a part of hospitality. And to bhutas by giving them food and shelter. If a man takes complete refuge in God and has nothing in the world to call his own, he is free from all these debts. That's why it said sannyasis don't do anything. Sannyasis only, they don't all do all these performances, but in the householder, these are ordained in Hindu culture that you should perform, to how to give, to all this, to repay. That's why they read the Gitas and Bhagavat, and that's for the devas. Then, as he has said, devas repaid by worshipping to rishis and also by study of the scripture. Forefathers, you do yearly offering in Hindu culture. In every year, there is an offering period. We call tarpana. What time we do tarpana? On the Mahalaya day, all Hindus do offering to their forefathers, some sort of offering, so that you are respecting them, you are recognizing them. Then to devas and rishis, pitris by performing this tarpan, shraddh, we call shraddh ceremony. After someone dies, their relatives do this ceremony. This is the repaying the debt of your forefathers or who have already passed by. And pitri, tarpana, and to fellow men, to other men, you just give food, give shelter, give money, just to do some charity to them. That way you get 5 rins, 5 notes. Oh, time is up. Okay, so we'll do the next verses. বাস হয়ে গেছে, another class. আচ্ছা, what shall we read now? We are discussing before we,
Give us some ideas.
এই এটা কি বলছে, ফ্ল্যাশ প্লেয়ার কি বলছে? Okay, this is a book. I was thinking, your suggestion? What is the suggestion?
No, I was saying you should give us some ideas.
Oh, I was thinking this is a bhakti study. So this is a bhakti book. It is called Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. And I am not yet. It is a Gauriyo. We are creating this Hare Krishna mood here. So this book is Rupa Goswami has wrote this. Rupa Goswami is Sri Chaitanya's disciple. So this Swami has written Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, this ocean of the taste of the bhakti, sweetness of the bhakti. He said this book,
Is it
it will go all to my life then. If I need this small book for so many, how many years?
2 years?
Well, 3 years. No,
3 years.
2 years. And these are very detailed. So I'll have to check it. I never have read. I turn pages here and there. But this is, they are great scholars. They are bhaktas, but they are great scholars. The composer.
Is it easy to get the book? Like,
It can be shared on download. You can download.
Yeah, you can. It is a PDF is available. You can see it. Yeah, actually.
দেখো।
Here, I can show.
We can PDF. We can copy it from that.
Or you can take the printout.
We can print out every time little few pages, or we can
I don't know, that's a lot.
lot to do. Of course, this big book is not.
And then we can
When its translation is the only, it will be Sanskrit. Let me see. She has did some research.
What would be the English title of it?
Achha, you can send. Why not send that that website forward to her?
I'll look
To
it
her?
up on I'll look it up on Amazon and see if it comes.
No,
in
it has 2 versions. One is from Vrindavan they publish, another is ISKCON version. ISKCON version is not good.
Okay.
But the one which is this one, original one from Vrindavan they did, that one is good.
Yeah, what's the title?
That one is the PDF that is.
That is forwarding it. You can download that.
Okay.
Check it.
But I
This
was
one.
gonna see if it.
Oh,
has
yeah,
a
check.
version.
Sri Bhakti
Rasamrita
Sindhu.
Okay.
By Rupa Goswami, edited by Gaurhari Das Anudas of Babaji. Okay, Jaima. Huh? So this is a big book, but it is English
The
translation.
name is very nice.
Yeah.
The name, English name is.
Oh, English name they have given. The Eternal Ocean of Nectar of Devotion. The Eternal Ocean of Nectar of Devotion.
Okay. I'll look that up.
And you can forward it. You can just forward.
Okay.
Just now forward it.
And that
So-
book doesn't have chapter. It has wave.
Wave.
Wave 1, wave 2, like that. It's because it's the
So
ocean.
come for a cup of
Oh,
tea with me.
Instead of the
Today I
pearl
can't
strand.
come.
We'll
one
go.
strand.
I have to go right now. But next time I come, I'll definitely see.
আচ্ছা।
এটা ফরওয়ার্ড
নাম
করতে
শুনি।
হলে এখান থেকে ফরওয়ার্ড করে দিতে পারেন।
দাও না এটা ব্যাক করে এটা চলে গেলি।
Here's a book called
Right.
The Nectar Ocean of Enlightenment by Sri Shankaracharya.
Oh, that is different. Shankaracharya means
It's
it will be Vedantic. It will be more Vedantic.
Can you tell your email ID?
It sounds good though.
Your mail ID.
Acha, so you can forward it to me.
Yeah,
Just
tell your
forward
mail
it.
ID.
হ্যাঁ,
Right now, tell it.
আচ্ছা তোমার তো দিয়ে দাও।
Tell it right now.
What your email address?
Lisa with 2
Ah,
S's
ah.
at
That's reciting.
COFFEY.
No, then Lisa, then
Coffee.
add one.
Lisa, হয়ে গেছে লিসা অ্যাড দাও।
Lisa at. Then
Oh,
coffee.
there's another one that
CO.
looks interesting.
Wait, coffee. What is the spelling? CO.
Pep.
COFFEY
Hmm.
TALK.com. This one says that
TALK.
Uddhava Gita, the final
Uddhava.
teaching of Krishna.
Oh, that is very highly Vedantic, and we have read it once.
Oh,
Yeah, that's also Madhavananda Swami's translation is there.
Swami Abhikananda Saraswati.
Oh, then, and also our book we have.
Oh, maybe this is something. Oh no, this is the one that you're saying was this conversion because it's Prabhupada, right? Swami Prabhupada is
Little fanatic side, but
yeah.
So let us go for tea. Huh?
Here's one by
Live to the cases.
Sri Ramanashram.
Ramanashram.
Ramana
Maharishi
The
Ramana.
Eternal Ocean